Hello and welcome to an episode of the Best Automatic. I'm your host, Captain Gorgeous.
And I'm your host, Captain Know-It-All. And I'm your host, Captain Purple.
And don't forget about me, the beekeeper.
Bro, I keep saying you gotta have a captain in front of it.
No, it's just a beekeeper and beekeeper only, right? So, as you all well know that I've just come into the show from the previous one, if you might remember, if you've seen it, but yeah. So these idiots, right, are suffering with withdrawal syndrome of Top Gear, that classic TV program back in the heyday, when you talked about cars and stuff and all that lot. If you're not too sure what I'm actually talking about, here's a clip.
Oh, I'm in charge of clips, shut up,
you.
Right, we're going to move on now and meet our guest this evening. He is a big star on Buzzcocks. He's a regular panellist on QI. He used to be a communist and a punk. He is now Bill Bailey. Have a seat. So who ate your hair?
Well, no, it was an accident with a lathe.
Now, you're from the West Country, of course.
Oh, yes.
So is everyone down there, a druid?
Not everyone. No, I mean, it's compulsory druid. You do druid exams at school, but there is quite a lot of that still, that community down there. There's a sort of little bit of a ley line type, sort of new age traveller, crusty kind of way station of Bath. Really. It is very much like that.
Is that why there are all those? Because a lot of agri-yobs, the kind of one-eyed people that hang around provincial town centres at night. Is that why they crash? So?
Well, I mean, my memories of driving around country lanes at sort of high speed, and the blokes with capris, souped up capris, standing around, just looking at cars, going, "That's brilliant, isn't it? That's great, that, isn't it? Brilliant." And that would be a Saturday night, just looking at the car. That's great, isn't it? What are we going to do now? Well, let's go up the service station. And we would go to the service station, because that was all there was to do in the West Country, really, of an evening.
And what did you do in the service station?
You go to the service, you drive back to the service station, you get out, and then you play a driving game in the service station. And that's, of course.
Wasn't it the service stations where you just about the IOU thing they've got?
I ran out of petrol. Was running out of petrol, and I went to the petrol station, and I filled up the tank and realised I had no money at all. I had no wallet, cards, or anything. And so what they say to you, they say, well, look, okay, you can have the petrol, you can drive away, but you have to write like an affidavit. So I promise to pay within 24 hours, and then you can leave with the petrol. So I said, all right, so that's all right. I just sign this thing, promising to pay, and then I can leave. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So I said, well, can I have a Twix as well? And then I said, and actually, while I'm here, a bit of barbecue charcoal and a bit of furniture. Great.
Load up the car. It's a brilliant idea. Now, car history.
Yeah.
Obviously 2CV.
Yes, I'm afraid to say I had a 2C. That was my first car.
Was that in the Workers' Revolutionary Party
Sorry, yeah.
time?
Yes, it was a lovely thing. It was a dolly. It was a red and white 2CV.
Oh, I remember the dolly.
Yeah.
I remember the dolly well. They had striped roofs and there were bright colours.
Brilliant.
Wouldn't be red, of course.
Of course, yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, it looked like a pace car at a donkey derby. And it had a brilliant feature in it. The windows were split, unhinged, so you could sort of flick them up like that. And of course, driving around the West Country late at night, you do attract the attention of local plod quite a lot, just by being up late. A bit late to be driving around town. Where's the donkeys? And more than once, a copper would lean down to the car, and I would open and crack him under the chin.
Did anyone in the Workers' Revolutionary Party at the time realise just what a planet-killing thing the 2CV was?
No, see, that was the thing. I mean, I suppose at the time you kind of think, oh, this is great, it's fantastic, it runs just purely on the tears of squirrels. It doesn't run on petrol at all. It's fantastic, it's fashioned out of bark, it's amazing. You could open it with anything as well. You could open it with a key, and then I realised you could open it with a spoon. or like like 2 beer mats, you know. And I remember once breaking into it once. I had a couple of drinks. I thought, oh, I better not drive home. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I knew how to break in. It's really easily. So I just broke in, fell asleep. And I thought, wait a minute, this is like 1981. I thought, I don't have a child. Why is there a child seat in the back?
Oh, that would have been a good one. But then, of course, property is theft.
Of course it is.
So it's perfectly entitled to steal somebody else's
yes.
if you do leave your own. Because you're a big fan of hire cars too, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Well, nothing handles like a hire car, does it? Really?
Absolutely right. But have you ever crashed one?
I've totally wrecked them by. I took one. I hired one in Australia, and I hired this Suzuki Vitara, and he said, "You're not taking it into the outback, are you?" Which is exactly what I was doing. I went, no. I'm just going to drive around the hotel a couple of times. And the thing was, I don't know if you've driven in Australia, but the unmetalled roads, like the outback roads, are just dirt roads. And there's this sort of very fine dust called bull dust, and it just gets into every crevice of the car. And I thought, I'll probably lose my deposit when I could see that behind the plastic of the Speedo, just filling up with dust.
But then it is one of the 50 things you've got to do before you die: crash a hire car.
Crash a hire car, of course it is. Yeah, that is essential. You know, or take it to Glastonbury.
But don't you now have a Volvo XC90?
I do, yes. Yeah.
Fine taste, if I may say. That's both of us. You could have taken that to Glastonbury, though.
No.
You want to get
actually,
what am I saying?
Take it off road. What are you talking about?
Take a Volvo as well to Glastonbury.
Volvo to Glastonbury.
Actually, no, a Volvo in Glastonbury now is about right.
It is about right. It has changed a little bit now. It's not quite so. It's a little bit corporate now. They've got there's £1 million security fence around Glastonbury now. The stop people. Of course, it won't stop hippies. Or they crawl through fire to get to a face painting tent, won't they? I want to be a panther.
That's marvellous. Now, of course, you're appearing in your one-man show at the moment.
Yes, Park Troll. Yeah,
starts Apollo.
The Apollo Theatre, Shaftesbury Avenue.
That's enough. That's enough of a plan. Because, of course, you're here. More importantly, you're here to do your lap and be our star in the reasonably priced car.
Right.
Who here would like to see Bill attempting to do the Liana? In the same conditions. Okay, let's have a look at some practice then here.
Okay. It was fantastic fun.
Where are we?
Look at this.
Oh yes, that's the hardest corner.
Hey.
You're brave, you kept your foot in it.
I nearly flipped it there. I nearly flipped it.
So that's pretty good. Was that frightening?
It was actually. When I went out with Stig, well, going out with Stig is quite scary anyway. He looks a bit like an Imperial stormtrooper. So, and also the fact that when you're driving straight at a corner and you think, no, we really ought to brake now. No, we really ought to brake by now. By now we should have braked way back there. So it was. But you know, once I got into it, it was. I was back. I was 17 again.
So would we like to see Bill's completed lap? Yes. Play the tape. Look at that. It's a determined look. A very determined look.
Very determined look.
Oh, here we go. That's a very hard corner, that one.
That is very. You know, I spun off there once. This is a hard car, isn't it?
No, this is neat. That's very neat.
Nice and tidy. Yeah.
You're right. Even though you say so yourself, and through the hammerhead again.
Look at this. Round the what's the line? Look at that.
I am impressed.
It's like delivering pizzas.
Were you flat through there, or did you have a bit of a limp?
No.
Foot flat through there, even in the wet.
Foot to the metal.
Even in the wet.
Yeah, even in the wet.
Now this is the tricky one that catches everyone out. But you're through.
Look at that.
And round the last. Oh, I think you could have gone even faster there. Actually, you didn't use all the road, but. I think we can definitely call that a wet lap.
Yeah.
Now, what's our fastest wet lap so far? Oh, well, that's Sanjeev.
Oh, yeah.
He did a 151.5, and then really we have to go all the way down. These are mildly moist, mildly damp. Steve Coogan really is our fastest properly wet lap.
Okay.
154.
I was pretty confident. I sort of lost it on the first corner a bit, but I was kind of on the straights. I thought I was pretty good. So
yeah, the straights aren't very tricky.
Well, That's really all I'm doing.
Rubbish. You were obviously very good round the corners because you did a 153.4, which puts you. Ladies and gentlemen,
See, actually, that was quite interesting, that, because obviously it was intellectually, fascinating, knowing about, specific things about the Citroen 2CV. I think that what you should be doing properly, like.
Well, yeah, because we've been doing a special on it, and obviously we've got financial problems and stuff, and delays and that. Well, yes, we do, obviously, because obviously we're going to safaring with our Citroen 2CVs. Well, technically, two of us have got Citroens, and I have as well. Yeah, but yours is the Diane, innit?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Well, you can shout and you might have a dolly or something.
There's still a Citroen in it.
Well, mine is.
So, wait on, no more bloody arguing. What the hell am I bloody watching here, right?
Well, obviously, we're tackling the great Yorkshire Pennines, because obviously doing the history of Stanage Tunnel, and obviously before people could actually try to sneak things in through the tunnel, people had to go over the Pennines, and they still do actually use a type of vehicle for Yorkshire pudding smuggling.
Yorkshire pudding smuggling?
Yeah, not even that, the cheeky buggers, right? Go to the local shops in Lancashire, buy a load of tea bags, right? Different brand ones, and smuggle them into bloody Yorkshire as well. We didn't know that. Well, I didn't, but yeah, they do that.
What was that?
Well, we're restricted to drink Yorkshire tea, aren't we? And obviously, somebody might want to drink, a different brand.
Right. So the Citroen 2CV is corporate for a vehicle for smuggling, then?
Yes, because obviously it was more durable to have compared to a VW Beetle, because obviously we all know the history of that, because we've done that.
And, right, so you've done the Beetle.
Well, not all of it. We had a bit of a difficult time about, the hippie stages with it.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. 'Cause you don't want Mum to find that, do you?
Well, no, because this was all the bloody stories she's got telling in her area, in the bloody 60s and that.
Well, yeah, bloody hell, all the time she mentioned the bus one.
Oh, yeah, bloody hell, I know.
Look, we don't want to be talking about your mother, do we? Well, no, but obviously she does have history with the vehicle.
Yeah, but I thought we were on the subject of, the Citroen.
Yeah, but what I don't get is all these dinosaur images and stuff.
Well, it's bloody Yorkshire. Look at the bloody wildlife. You know it's bloody lethal there, going over the Pennines.
Well, I suppose it is.
And when you got vicious sheep for a start, they're vicious. And you don't know there's the bloody sheep from a distance, or a bloody polar bear in there.
Well, yeah, that is true. Yeah, but yeah, that was the downfall or whatever. These animals, right? I'm saying.
Well, there's a lot of these strange creatures we have in Yorkshire. Just divide, from Lancashire.
Yeah, I covered that. I mean, it might look interesting, but it looks bloody rubbish.
What do you mean?
Well, how bloody bad it is. Well, yeah, because obviously we couldn't do it for real. It's bloody dangerous out there. When you were talking about the tentacle monsters and black wolves and dinosaurs running around. Yeah, because it is quite lethal up there. What do you think they had to build a bloody tunnel for, just to avoid all that? You what? They had to build a tunnel just because of avoiding the wildlife up in there. Well, yeah, that's what he said, Captain Know-It-All. Well, yeah, because obviously it's on my subject, isn't it? Yorkshire and all that lot. I mean, these two didn't know all the history of it and all that lot. This is the bloody part of the world that got in a war about a flower, isn't it? Well, yeah, with the roses and that. But that makes it awkward on Valentine's Day, doesn't it? Well, it does actually, yeah. We're still cut up about it and that. That's what Yorkshire people are known for, just getting invaded and giving in and all that lot. No, we're not. I've seen it in that documentary in the BBC, that's with Summer Wine and all that lot. Oh, bunch of mousses and all that lot. Bloody hell, what is this? Oh, this is doing the props and stuff and that. Alright. Props? Well, yeah, we want to go have some landmarks in Yorkshire, not the famous Humber Bridge and that. Well, technically it's the Golden Gate Bridge, really, but with the Yorkshire folk, they don't bother painting theirs, they just pebble dashed it in there. Pebble dashed it? Don't bloody stupid, it's made out of concrete, innit? Well, not one we know, there's metal bits in it and that. Yeah, we were quite surprised at that. Well, all I'm saying is cardboard and that. Well, yeah, let's go on the real thing. You got plenty to go on it, Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah, well, yeah. That's one way of avoiding doing it, isn't it? I'll build a bloody own, won't you? Well, yeah, that's what we're on about, because that's how Yorkshire folk have to tattle things and that, Right, so building your own bloody bridge, are you? Just to get your Citroen 2CVs over. And a Diane. Oh, yeah, Diane, yeah. I've got to be intellectually corrected there, aren't I? Your graphics are rubbish. What? They're not even real cars, are they? No, not they're real cars. Am I? I don't even have a bloody license. Neither do I. What? You don't have a driver's license? Yeah. Oh, no. Right. So, and you're doing a car program. You don't know how to bloody really know how to drive on the road. Well, I can pretend, I'm on GTA and all that, but yeah, officially, no, I'm not allowed. Yeah, it's like him, right? He's going for his license. He's taking lessons because he found the easy place in Yorkshire that they let you have flying lessons. Flying lessons? Yeah, they let me in charge with a bloody plane. It'll go alright. What did you do with the plane? He crashed it. Well, yeah, he told me to do. Well, teaching me how to crash land the plane. That's one of the first rules. Because that's what. How the hell did you survive then? I climbed into the black box because obviously, because you keep rubbing it in how short I am. I just scrooged through the gaps and I hid in there. You what? Oh. Yeah, right. So, what are we doing there, right? Because this is wandering up on strange stuff, right? Yeah, we tend to do this, getting in a conversation, and we end up talking about, individual different things. Right. So, right, I'm gonna get you back on track. I just realised, right? Yeah. Right. The thing is, though, right? What? Top Gear, they did challenges and stuff, didn't they? And we're going to play a clip of that. Why don't we play a clip of yours, right? One of these challenges you did. One of them ones you keep rubbing in all the time,
What do you mean? That one where you're driving lorries in the snow, yeah. I mean, that looked a bit weird, you know, that one from the previous show you showed me. Well, yeah, we can't do. We'll show you, well, yeah, a clip, and you can explain. But, you know, right, yeah, because obviously, well, we've already pre-recorded this, haven't we? Well, yeah, obviously, so we're going to play a clip, aren't we? You know, that other program did, you know. Well, yeah, can we get on with it then? What? Yeah, well, no, right, yeah. Right, play clip now. Well, okay. So, what am I might be watching right now? We've done these lorries before, haven't we? Yeah, but this time we've got our not-so-tame racing driver. What's waving? Well, yeah, to introduce itself, right? So, as you can gather, it's getting in the cab, right, on the most dangerous road on this game. As you notice, it's got a full load, right? So it's very heavy, so it'll give it traction and all that, look. And obviously, we're educating people about, you know, if you're going to do it with a full load, right, yeah, your truck's heavier and it's going to be slower, but it will give you sort of like, what? Well, slowness? Well, yeah, it'll make you go slow and you're heavy and you're not going to be very good at going up hills. So the easiest thing, it would be more better, it would be better being empty, wouldn't it? And then you'll go a lot quicker. But the gimp for, because usually, that movie like Hell Drivers and all that, look, they had to get a load and they took a shortcut and obviously, they got to get to this destination very quick, and the more quicker they get there and the more many runs they get, the more shillings they'll get. And then if they get so many, they'll win a golden cigarette case. Right, but this is a movie, isn't it? Yeah, we sort of mentioned that on one of, because this is previous, like, because obviously we've got to show you stuff, what we'll be doing and all that, like. So, this is our not-so-tame racing driver on the most dangerous road, and as you notice, there's a little clock at the top, and obviously it's giving you a bit of a timer and telling you, how fast the gimp is doing it, right? Because the gimp is going to get to the destination, right? Turn back round and come back, right, on a timer, and then it's down to us three to outrun it and beat its time. Right, so it's a race against the time on treacherous, dangerous weather and conditions and all that lot, and that doesn't look good, does it? Well, yeah, the gimp sort of fell off, and that's why we're kind of a bit educational. So obviously with the lorry falling off, it's the same lorry, as you can see there, the lights are broken and all that, look, he just drove it back, right? But obviously, with the high-tech graphics, you'll notice the back of the truck that it's empty now. Well, obviously, it came off a bloody cliff, didn't it? Yeah, but this is a picoleted game, isn't it? Well, yeah, so how did that work out? Well, anyhow, so, right, as you know, it's in the trap, right, it's all empty, so it's more empty, it's going to be unstable maybe, but it's going to be a lot quicker. So, we've got a disadvantage that, we've got to race this, short wheel-based truck, thing, right, and as you can see, it's jumping in the air, and, it looks like it's stuck there. Well, yeah, obviously the gimp sort of got a bit carried away with its speed. Look, God, though, that jump.
Yeah, it did actually.
Well, yeah, it did, but now we've got advantage because it looks like the gimp is absolutely stuck, and it's making the clock tick more, so that will give us the more of an advantage to beat it.
Well, yeah, and obviously, look, the gimp is struggling to get that lorry out. So, the rules are, if you get the lorry stuck, meaning us, right, that we're out of the challenge, right? Or we crash it, we sort out the challenge.
Yeah, but the thing is though, we have fallen off and then we've managed to get back all the way back round and start again. But the clock doesn't stop ticking.
Yeah, that's what we want problems. So the idea is not to actually come off or, you know, get like what the gink's do. Because the gink's very determined, but obviously, you know, the more it's stuck, the more we got an advantage to beat it. So, right, so the gink's the best driver out of the lot here, right? And obviously it's not doing very well because it's got out of its situation, but yeah, that's some few bloody minute in there, wasn't it? So you should be alright beating this dumb thing there. Oh yeah, hopefully we are, but obviously as you can see that, you know, it's still, very hectic, very, you're just making excuses, aren't you, bruv? Yeah, but the thing is, though, obviously, we've got to find a decent, reasonable lorry, right, to beat the gimps, right? And obviously, obviously, we're not going to buy a lorry. Well, obviously, you can't really buy a lorry, can you? Well, you can, but, it's so many, isn't there? You're terrible and stuff and all that, look. Well, yeah, but obviously the producers just want us to steal one and, on the highway and make it easily convenient. Right, so you're encouraging people to steal. Well, yeah, on the game, but don't do it for real, kiddie winkies or little grown-ups or whatever you are. Shut up, because you're trying to get intellectual with his voice. Nah. So, we're watching gameplay and we're watching the gimp trying to get round this, this treacherous condition and, obviously got all these hikers in the way and all that lot. Yeah, that makes it more fun actually, because you run them over, we might get the police after you, and obviously, it makes it more exciting, seeing police guys trying to stop you in there. Right, but obviously they can slow you down and give you screws for seconds straight up, wouldn't they? Yeah, and obviously we want him to do that, obviously, don't we? Well, yeah, so, yeah, it's quite interesting to, so, the gimp's getting really carried away now, isn't it? Well, yeah, obviously, because it's quite fun doing it. So what's the idea what the gimp's got to do? So he's getting to the location now, and what a problem now. Well, yeah, this is it now, so it's going to get here. So it's done, the first obstacle of it. It's got to spin it right round, right, and come back where it comes from. And then obviously when it gets back to its destination, where it's set off from, that's it. The clock stops and that's our destination. So, right, it's quite interesting, and it makes it a bit fairer, to see what it's like, somebody driving it just on the most dangerous road, the easy way. You don't know which way's the easiest, do you? Now you're going up this big hill, and obviously, it is quite interesting, I would say. Yeah, it's not bad idea. Well, yeah, I'm saying, it's a good challenge, isn't it? Well, yeah, it's going to be fun watching you three doing it. Well, yeah, but, yeah, especially who wins and all that lot, we don't know each other yet. Oh, yeah, because you're all meeting in the shed, don't you? And then watch each other's videos, what have been edited and all that noise for you and all that lot of it. Well, yeah, and then they record our voices and others, like arguing or whatever, who did what and all that lot. Yeah, I think that's one of your problems, but nobody don't want to hear you bitching and whining and crying and all that lot. Oh, it's getting interesting now, a bit of police contact and all that lot. Yeah, it's funny around police cars, isn't it? Yeah, that's really more like some 70s movies and stuff and all that. Well, all the police cars crashing and that. So,
So I'm seeing the time ticking by and all that, look, and yeah, it's quite interesting, also that's going to shred some time off for the gimp as well. Oh, that's good, boy. Well, some explosions, that's what you want. Oh, yeah, that's it, please. You slow the gimp down, that's what you need, So it's interesting action. Well, we'll grant you that. I mean, it's a shame that, we don't have the all stay in it or anything. It made it more interesting than that. Well, yeah, because first when you can do the run, I'm not trying to do all that fancy work when you're not really technically driving, are you? But this you are. And, it's interesting. But it's a shame, isn't it? Yeah, and obviously we had to do it around Christmas because we thought it'd be more better than this now when that's more hectic and dangerous and more exciting. Well, it extremely does. We'll grant you that. So, the gimp's actually got there now. Yeah, so as you can see, that's the time we've got to actually.
So that is the challenge done by their not-so-time racing driver, and I'll be sampling and seeing them and seeing my reaction, because obviously it's pre-recorded, because obviously I wasn't impressed.
Well, yeah, but not bad, is it? You found it interesting.
Yeah, the contents of it might be and all that lot, and instead of babbling on about it, let's get straight into the action and watch one of you numpties actually try to outbeat your not-so-time racing driver in a lorry.
Well, yeah.
So who's this I'm watching?
Well, it's me, bruv. Can't tell?
Well, no, because you're wearing a bloody mask, aren't you?
Well, yeah, obviously, because I don't want to get recognised. I mean, if I go out in public, I might get lynched or whatever.
Well, the bloody hell's gonna lynch you, isn't it? Oh, right. So, what is going on now?
Well, obviously, you saw the gimp, and he did the time, and I've got a big time.
Well, why are you in that vehicle then?
Well, obviously, I've got to get a lorry from the main road, and obviously, I've got this, and this is it. And I think I'm better, well, because I'm in a bigger vehicle.
I see, Yeah, but the thing is, though, we do have a rule when we got isolated lorries.
Well, yeah, but it's a little bit different this one, isn't it, man? We just had a random lorries, didn't we? Not different lorries.
But it's still the same rule.
Yeah, it is actually. If we got isolated lorries, the trailer gets lost, dislodged and stuff and all that lot. It's still classed as, say, a thing, isn't it?
So, if you lose the trailer, or whatever happens to the trailer, or the tractor unit, he's there, isn't he?
Yeah, that's more or less it, yeah. So, obviously, I've got to make sure that's how it's all together. Because obviously the rules are, even if we've got separated, I've got to get out, I've got to do that one and fine, all that lot. But it was when we did the activated trail, but yeah, I'd say the rules still apply because obviously
So, you're not met loose or spoiling, are you?
well now, obviously, see how hard the skills are, I mean actually getting, doing it.
Well, go on then, yeah, alright, you got more of a disadvantage compared to the not-so-time racing driver, the king, right? Because you're in a bigger vehicle.
Well, yeah, but I've got reasons to something dangerous road.
Well, what great is this is quite exciting there. And all that other thing, yourself and the right teaching people, they all got it really slow. I mean, you are trying to give this a bit of speed, aren't you, and all that lot?
Well, yeah, obviously, because, it's got to go really quick,
Struggling, aren't you?
yeah, obviously, because obviously it's quite cheap, I can start up again, and all that lot.
Well, obviously, because you'll know what happened, won't you?
I can't remember every single run I did, but yeah, really,
Not red in a hurry.
now, what?
Oh, what's it? Who's that?
Alright, yeah.
I must be a well-known funny, yeah. His phone's not bad at all, actually. You know, a good job that
Yeah, obviously, see, I'm a better driver, aren't I, bruv?
you're better in the game. All this phone, yeah, I'm quite impressed. I mean, he's doing a good run here, and he's good. I mean, like that. This is quite impressive, little bruv.
Yeah.
What are you doing right there?
I'm sliding off harder, bruv.
Look, yeah, but he's trying to get a shortcut or something, I don't think that's your risk. I'll see you, trailer come off, and it's on fire.
Yeah. So technically that is classed as a fail.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, dear. Bruv, you're rubbish.
What do you mean, bruv? Well, you just started insulting me there, didn't you? And I can't believe that. And we're family and all that, lot.
Are you sure about that? You're still adopted,
I don't know. There's no proof I'm adopted, is there?
Well, no, but obviously I think you are, really, because what a useless... you're rubbish.
That, it's on the snow.
That'll virtual snow, isn't it? Bloody hell, that was rubbish. What's the other team gonna be like then? Well, actually, it'd be, we're better than him, we're better drivers than him.
What do you mean you're better drivers than me?
Well, we are.
Well, you're not. I mean, put his tape on and see how good he is then.
Well, yeah, let's find out. So it just leaves one of you there, doesn't it? Yeah, it's me. Obviously it's you, because obviously it's all you what's left, didn't they? Yeah, and obviously I've got a big accident lorry, and I've got logs in it. Logs in it, right, yeah, well I've noticed it's got trees in it there. So, right, so let's see how good you do it there. Yeah, because obviously, gorgeous and I'll be really good at this. I can't really remember it, Right, so you did quite well on this then, didn't you?
Not exactly, bruv, what? I mean, obviously, it's quite a hard challenge and all that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very hard and very, very difficult and that. Right, so you're telling me that none of you actually beat this not-so-tame racing driver?
Well, no, not exactly.
So, you're all pathetic and useless then, aren't you?
Well, not exactly.
No, well, yeah.
So technically you should have put my video on if you can remember, well, how we did it in...
Well, yeah, I do remember, but he started, didn't he? So, that's why I put his video on. And, obviously, because obviously the audience won't really care, will they?
What do you mean they won't care?
Well, actually watching you bananas trying to drive these artificial, little lorries in the snow, what's virtually just picoulated white dots or whatever. Well, yeah, but you know, it was that classic game GTA at the time. It was quite advanced and stuff. Not that advanced, but obviously, you know, well, yeah, I suppose, yeah, there's your type, isn't there, to put on there, and obviously, you know, because, obviously, I think it gives it a wide Dante, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, but obviously,
Yeah, that's another thing, Captain Gorgeous. Did you forget how rubbish you were?
well, not exactly, I just couldn't remember because I've done it a few times. Yeah, that's your problem, innit, you lot? That you had it quite a few times, you know, around that Christmas period of doing all them driving around in lorries and all that lot. I mean, it is getting a bit tedious, don't you think, you know? Well, no, it was a good challenge and all that lot, and obviously we had a few attempts. Well, your few attempts weren't that good, so what was your best attempts then? Well, that might come later on, won't it? Anyhow, I said on about this, let's just watch my video and then we'll carry on with the show. Well, yeah, that's what we should do, yeah. Well, yeah, obviously. Shut up, right, let's put the video on. So, who's this one then? It's me, know it all. Right, so, you're waving there. Yeah, because I'm introducing myself and I'm on here. That's it. Simple as that. Right, okay. So, you're wearing mask and all that lot stuff, I understand. Well, yeah, we do. But, you know. So, you're superstitious about, you know, you recognise all that lot. Well, no, but obviously it does make it look different, you know, on the mask. So, you've got the police on you already. Well, yeah, to make it look interesting and that, and obviously that's the idea, you know, like that shortcut on Sam Peckinpah's convoy, you know, when they cut through the desert, obviously they're being pursued by the police, and obviously it makes it look exciting and stuff, and I've had it be more challenging than that. Right, so this lorry you stole off the highway, and right, see how good you are, because obviously, you know, it's sort of like, you know, well, it's a bit clumsy, this vehicle, done it, you know. Well, yeah, it's actually quite challenging, because obviously, yes, as you can see, the great big pebble in the way, and obviously I'm trying to get round this, and obviously with the snow, but I am trying to talk intellectual how to get this vehicle up. Obviously on the video game it's like using your handbrake and accelerating, and slowly but surely you inch it a little bit forward sometimes. If you know how to play the game, I'll play the game, you'll know what I'm on about, obviously, but yeah, because there's different consoles what can do it. So all we're doing is watching you being stuck then, because your time's ticking by.
Yeah, that's right, Brubby, because he's rubbish, actually, isn't he?
Well, I'm not saying he's rubbish, but he's in a bit of a predicament, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
I mean, bloody hell, that's rude, seeing your undercarriage and all that lot. Well, yeah, but it's just proving that, you know, I'm, you know, having a minor setback and difficulty trying to get this lorry out. So, you're Mr. Know-It-All, and you don't know how to get this lorry out. What are you doing there? Well, is this in the rules? Well, yeah, I might be stuck, but it doesn't mean that I can't get out and sort it out with the blunt gun and all that lot. So, isn't that a form of cheating and all that lot then?
Well, no. If there were like winches on this game, it'd be a different thing. Obviously, when the blunt gun came out, it's quite ideal. So, right. What a minute, right, yeah, good thinking, and alright, so even if you have outlaid the lorry, you can do all this, rules, I mean, what rules, right, so you're going to hit that storm again, aren't you? Oh no, well you hit it, but, alright, so, now you're getting it all sorted out, now, that's what you should have done that bit in the first place. Well, yeah, I know I should have done, but I didn't, did I? Yeah, because you're useless, aren't you? Like a presenter you are. No, what? Why are you insulting? Yeah, you tell him, bruv, or what? Just shut up, little pipsqueak, alright? I mean, I've got to endure and sort of sit back and analyse all this because the producers wanted us to, and obviously you're trying to convince me about how great this car program is, and obviously, yeah, alright, yeah, it looks exciting, you know, in the snow and that, but obviously that professional racing driver or whatever it may be, in the rubber outfit, you mean the game, don't you? Well, obviously I do, right, but yeah, the professional drivers are the one what's done it, right? And you lot beat it, and oh well, someone's doing the impression of Bond. Well, yeah, this is where I had a bit of another incident with the lorry. Oh no, you're stuck again, aren't you? So, what's the rules about when you get stuck? Well, if we get stuck and we can't really, do it, that obviously we're out of the challenge. Right, so you're trying to get this lorry out from this predicament, and it's snowing, and even the hikers are managing to overtake you and all that lot. Well, yeah, all your time's ticking by, isn't it? Well, yes, I do know, so obviously, yeah, the problem is I do remember this. So, you remember this challenge you did, and this, with this vehicle? Yeah, he didn't do very well. Well, I know I didn't. Obviously, the vehicle is absolutely, completely stuck, and, I'm gonna have, great difficulty, as you can just see here, I can get so much traction, but I cannot get over the horizon with this vehicle. So I try it again with the blunt gun, and hopefully I can sort of like, dislodge it and get it out. Right, so all I'm seeing is this lorry stuck and all that lot. So I mean, at least the police went, so that was a good job, because it'd been interesting seeing a shootout and that. So, right, your lorry's getting more further down. For somebody who missed a know-it-all, I think you made a right bit of a mess with that. Yeah, I did actually. I got a bit carried away, and obviously, yeah. The lorry's broken, and yes, that's it. Oh, you're all quite useless at doing challenges, aren't you? I mean, none of you did any good. I mean, your nuts-old-time racing driver is the one what really did it in the end. And all that messing about, your nuts-on-time racing driver, the kid, was actually just a rip-off from, Jeremy Clarkson's idea. But, obviously, anyway, well, think about it, right? Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson wasn't there to think about, Quentin Tarantino for getting Brian Paul Fiction, right? And he wanted to call this not-so-time motion driver to him, and obviously, they call it the stick instead, didn't they? Well, yeah, but we're a bit for homage, aren't we? And that. Right, so is that why it's called the Gig? Well, not exactly, but we wanted to call it the Bio-Free. Yeah, or something, or the German Bowl from that. because technically our gimp doesn't like to get germs. You know, like getting into strange second-hand cars. You don't know who's been picking their noses in that car. And every time we did a program about, you know, if you watch people at traffic lights, you'll always see somebody having a right good rummage through their bloody noses and all that lot. And they always got sticky bogies and they're sticking the fingers and they're always flicking them out or wiping them on something on the car dashboard and all that lot.
Or the glove compartment, or then side pockets in the door and all that lot.
Yeah, they do actually, yes. It's quite hell of a gamble when you're buying a second-hand car. I mean, obviously, yes, Top Gear did do that, and obviously when they had the forensics teams to tell people about nose mucus and, you know, urine and
Semen and all sorts of dirty things end up in the car.
yeah, and they say when a lady owns a car,
Oh no, be careful.
most of them don't really have them clean, and you think, you know, very tidy ladies clean, you know, public ladies' toilets are clean, but if they have a car, they sort of use it like a mobile dustbin or something.
Technically, have you got facts about that?
Well, not exactly, but yeah, I did pick that up on that movie, The Sweetest Thing, and that.
Right. But, that's the movie I ain't seen into.
Well, yeah, it's actually Captain Gorgeous.
So, we're rambling on again, aren't we? So, what is that? Is this it now? That's the end of the challenge, isn't it?
Well, talking about on That's Our Time Racing Driver, that's what we do. We have vehicles going around our best automatic test track.
Right, so why don't we put that on there?
Well, yeah, we can do, but it's a bit of a disappointment.
Right, so we'll just pay it on, right? So you don't do this regular on the program, do you? I mean, this is the your Nuts on Time Racing Driver in a truck. Yeah, the slam truck.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like this truck for some reason, but it is quite funny to have. I mean, it does have hydraulics and you can sort of like drop it a bit and sort of use it as a bloody, a trolling vehicle if you want.
So, right, and you're a menace with this vehicle then?
Well, no, but obviously we did actually use this vehicle on one of the best automatics because we bought this and we sort of gave it a name or something, didn't we?
Well, yeah, but obviously what we were doing was a rerun on our latest challenges, what we did at the humble beginning, and I think it was the, class as the third episode.
Even we did start with best automatic and best automatic notes, then technically 5, but obviously, yeah, we did a train challenge where we had to go all the way around the train track, all the lot of it, in big vehicles. Then we did it again, but the difference was that these vehicles had to be the biggest vehicles you can park in your personal garage. And obviously we had a thing where you had to derail the train and you can sort of make the train glitch out and that. On the slam track, well, it wasn't that bad because Captain Gorgeous was in charge of it.
Alright, I know!
Anyhow, now back to this.
What do you mean back to what?
Well, getting that back to, you know, the slam track, right? That, yeah. Well, usually what we do is put on the time of that track, but we've realised that our, you know, I noticed our time-lapse or board, it only fits like 10 places, and obviously,
yeah, so obviously what we do is the ones what are the top 10 stay on that leaderboard, and obviously that was just a bit useless.
Yeah, it was, but at least the GIMP has actually driven a sort of reasonable sized vehicle on the best automatic test track.
So you're not even actually going to put it on the scoreboard?
No, you've seen it, and obviously there's always going to be 10 vehicles. If it came, number one, it'd be number one.
Right, so are we going to see this board?
No, why should we? We'll see it when a car gets to the top 10.
And that's how we do it, isn't it? So that is absolutely different compared to Top Gear, isn't it?
Exactly, and the Grand Tour. So we're a bit uniquely different.
No, it's still the same thing. You just limit it down because you're rubbish. That you don't have to bend down to put your board or whatever. Or he's too short to reach up at the top.
Shut up, you! Alright!
Look, lads, I think now because you're all arguing and all that lot, that, we've seen everything. We've done a challenge. We've seen one of our vehicles go around the best automatic test track. So what are you saying then? Well, it's nearly an hour program, and if you include adverts and stuff and all that lot, it's definitely would be an hour's program. If it was on the TV like Dave or that. Right, Dave? Who's Dave?
Oh, it's a channel, innit, what has Top Gear, if you want to reminisce about watching classic Top Gear. The nice Top Gear, not the really old ones when you got Vicky and all that lot, but obviously, you get the Clerks and reboot, you know what I mean?
Right, that might be done by AI now.
Oh yeah, there's that AI malarkey now, that, because they're trying to reboot it, but yeah, we all know that, James May, Richard Hammond and, John Clarkson and just robots now, like something done by AI and all that lot.
Yeah, I mean, that was just right cheap effort to do that there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but people still miss the program, don't they, and all that lot.
Well, yeah, of course they do, and it's quite sad. So, on that note, I think we should leave it now and end the program.
You're very hasty. I want going from your tea, don't I? All right. So, on that slam bang end of the show, I like to
see you, man. My tea's getting cold.
So, on that note, everybody, on that cold tea, it's time to end the show. Charming. Bye.